It looks like Kenny might get some more screen time finally. So
I actually don't think so because I feel like
they
they
put him in
had,
the mid-season trailer.
yeah, but I just don't think so. I just like they had. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new episode of the challenge. This episode 9. We missed a couple days, but we are back with a new episode. So we're gonna get right into it. This episode is right after the last episode where TJ told us that there was gonna be some like big twist happening soon. So that's what I was waiting for this whole episode, like what was about to go down. Go ahead.
I was gonna say once. So essentially, we opened up the episode with all the teams pretty much getting their one-on-ones and kind of basically reestablishing why they're ride or dies. And I just knew in my spirit that what I said from the beginning was going to happen, and I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for it. But what I didn't like is the person that made these decisions. But we'll get into that later on.
So we're coming back from elimination where Olivia and Horacio sent Michelle and Jay home. Olivia Nelson, they make up. She's not mad at him. Which I told you she wasn't gonna be mad at him.
I was with bananas. I was like, you're not gonna make him work for it, at least, like.
She's like it's best for his game, so she's not taking it personal. And then we
That's
get a
that Love
scene.
Island. That's that Love Island Olivia right there. Olivia knows the Cliff knows Fessy and Nelson's history. So even if he like there was if I was her, I would have had justified it and I definitely wouldn't be kissing anybody as soon as you just threw me in. Like
Well, I
that
mean,
just
she
that
said
just
she feel like he did what he thought was best for his game, so she's not gonna take it personal. So I could imagine if they were like together, then it would be a different story. But because they're not officially together, Fessy's his friend, you know, so maybe that's why. But let's hope if they got together for real, he wouldn't pick Fessy over her. Then we get a scene where Fessy is talking to Mariah about like how he hasn't won, and he feels like instead of being he could have been a 2 or 3-time champion, but
when he said
instead
that, I
he was
instantly
a
thought of
challenge
you.
winner. And I'm just like the fact that you think you should have won all those times. Okay, so I understand what he's saying. I get it, but people don't win every single time, and you just started. It took time for people to win. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people do win on their first round, but sometimes people do not. So like I understand what he's saying, but it's okay if you haven't won. You've only played 3, 4 times.
I think it's just his ego and his pride. He's hurt because one, Amber got a championship under her belt. Casey got
He
two
thought he was so much better
championships.
than Amber, and she's the champ, and he's not. I love
Casey
her.
got two championships under her belt. She's a Big Brother winner and a challenge winner. So yeah,
She
it's
is
just
a
his
real
pride.
challenge winner. Don't put no asterisk. Amber ran that final.
No, I'm saying Amber is a challenge champ.
Don't. Oh, who you talking about? Amber or you talking about
Casey.
Casey?
Casey is a challenge champ. But so yeah, I just feel like it was his pride. But then when he was like, I'm just as good as Jordan and Bananas, if not better, I was like,
I don't know.
where? That's what the delusion. Like when he was crying, I was like, "I'm there for you, Fessel." And then when he was like, "I'm better," okay, you just lost me again.
Yeah, like I was with him, and I'm like, I understand, like feeling like I could do better. I should be doing better, all this stuff. And I was like, okay, like an emotional thing from Fessy. But then when he was like, I'm just as good or better than them, I was like, how? How do you figure that? Because the
Exactly.
challenges don't show that. The wins don't show that. So why do you think that? This episode, everybody got a spotlight. Like every team, they highlighted them. They got a little talking section to talk about like how they're close, how they ride or dies, how close they are to their ride or dies. We heard from Kenny. When we heard from Kenny, I was like, they shaking it up. They shaking it up this episode, okay?
Yeah, it was just once he got that confessional, I was like, "Are we Kenny?" What? I was scared for a second. I was like, "What's really going on?" Kenny getting a confessional. he talking about I don't even know what he was talking about. I just know he was talking.
Yeah, he was talking. I was like, this is the first time we heard Kenny speak since episode 1, and this is
Apparently, it
9
was the first
episodes
time that
in.
Casey spoke to him since episode 1.
Yeah, I was say Kenny or Casey. This is the first time either one of them has really gotten a chance to talk on this show, confessionals or otherwise.
Yeah.
So, that was different. We get to see Bananas and Nani are talking about their relationship. And Bananas mentions again, like he really wants to try to help Nani get a win.
Well,
We
that's over
see
with.
you said what?
I said that's over with.
We see Amber and Chauncey have a moment as well. So everybody got a moment. Everybody within their team got a little spotlight, which I like because that's like we've talked about before. They tend to highlight one or two teams, and so we know the episode is going to be about them and who either gonna win or lose this episode. And then we get a scene with Jordan and Tori playing around wrestling, and they kind of gave opposing views on how they each see their relationship. Tori feels kind of like hopeful about the relationship. She feels like, we're like restarting, there's a chance there. And Jordan kind of like, I'm glad me and Tori are like kind of getting over everything we've been through, but it's not a rekindle. It's like we cool. But he doesn't, from what this scene made it seem, he don't see nothing there as far as them restarting their relationship. But she kind of seemed to have some type of hope for the future.
Later on, we'll get to it, but I kind of was feeling what Tori felt. I was like, Jordan, you my guy, but I just felt, well, in general, even now, I just felt like Jordan led Tori on regardless, and it kind of blew up. Like, granted, I don't know. Like, again, they don't show us everything, but I just felt like if Tori was getting those vibes, you have to be doing something to kind of put those energies out there or saying stuff to kind of put out that energy. So for that, I felt like Jordan was wrong. He should have set those boundaries. Like, we're not getting back together. Yeah, you're my safe place, but these are the boundaries. This is what it is, type of thing. That way, Tori don't have that expectation and to avoid any confrontation. And eventually, yeah.
Jordan is, feeling Nurys. And Nurys likes Jordan as well, but Nurys doesn't want to like step on any toes or hurt Tori's feelings. Because that's her ex and they're in the house together. But Olivia's kind of like, you and Tori are not friends. So you don't like owe her loyalty as far as that's concerned. But then Olivia also does say in her confessional, Tori gonna come back at her, so she better watch out. So she does
She's
kind of
like,
throw that in
girl,
there.
you can do what you want to do. Just know when if you do what you're gonna do, be ready for Tori to do what she got to do.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what Olivia said in her. This challenge is like a mini final. It's like a long one. It's different stages and everything.
I think when they say mini final, but they really don't give mini final. Like,
They
I feel
just
like,
mean it's gonna be a lot of running. When they say
yeah,
mini final, they mean it's at
yeah,
least gonna be it's not gonna be in one spot. Y'all gonna be
yeah.
running more than 2-3 miles today.
This challenge was called All or
Oh.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, the teams have to carry a heavy plate that doesn't look heavy at all. And they have to undergo a 6-mile course essentially. And they will have to complete 3 checkpoints in between. So we get to the first checkpoint where the teams have to use their plank, and then basically, like I forgot who said it. It was basically the floor is lava. Essentially, they have to use their barrels and their plank to go across one line to another. And out the gate, Nelson and Nurys and Faisal and Mariah were like the team to beat.
Yeah. Nelson has been doing really well this season. Like you said, this could really be his season. I could see it. I could see it if he keep going with the momentum and everything. And I think he got good alliances. I think Nelson has a real good shot this season. And every other season, I never really thought that before.
I want to say he had a good shot.
Well, Yeah, but every season I've never thought that before. I've always like,
Yeah,
oh, Nelson
this
has made it far
this
this
was
time. Or
Nelson's. This do I want to say was this was Nelson's best season.
Yeah, I think that Nelson, uh, yeah, his best season. This is the best I've ever seen him like perform. He's doing so well.
Yeah,
But yeah, so this whole challenge, this whole uh challenge in general, Nelson and Nerese and Fessy and Mariah are like number one and two the whole time.
and
Um,
honorable mention to Devin and Tori, who were in third
yeah,
place and second. But I also want to say, I didn't appreciate Anissa comment. Like, I get it, you're not the best or whatever, but I don't know, something about that defeatist attitude is just like, I don't know, it just don't sit right in my spirit. The
what she
whole, she was basically like, we all know that I'm not a good runner, so I'm not gonna. Basically, she was like, so I'm not gonna exert myself trying to run or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go at my pace, and I'm just like, that's cute or whatever, but yeah,
maybe she's like, maybe she's like, even if I did run, these people gonna be faster than me. So I'm gonna save my energy for where I feel like I can excel once we get there, type of
no,
deal.
she didn't say it like that. If she would have
Well,
said it like that,
I'm assuming that's what
it
she
would have been.
means.
She didn't mean it like that. But so Nelson, Fessy, Tori, Devin are the three that comes out of first, second, to third. They get to the second checkpoint, and basically the second checkpoint they have to
They have
well,
to
after the
grab.
first checkpoint, they had to grab sandbags and
Mhm.
carry that on their planks to the second checkpoint. Once they get to the second checkpoint, they have to throw their sandbags onto another person's sled, which I feel like wasn't fair because essentially once Nelson or once the team got there, it was pretty much sandbags was really pointless. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
y'all wasn't gonna really do anything, but so the whole of it came to Amber and Chauncey. This is where Fessy. For the checkpoint, they had these 4 cubes. They had to stack it up, and basically each of these symbols had to be on each row, and none can rotate. So each 4 of the symbols had to be visible on all 4 sides without doubling up.
Yeah. And this is what kind of changed the projection of the challenge because Nelson and Nerese were like ahead of everyone. But then once Fessy and Mariah got there, Mariah and Fessy were able to solve the puzzle in like 5 seconds, like CT level solving that puzzle.
And you
And
heard what Devin was like, we got Fessy here solving puzzles. We really
yeah, so they solved the puzzle super quick. So they took over first place. And after they got that first place, it was dust for everybody else, really.
So after the second checkpoint, they had to grab tires and basically do the same thing. Once they got to the third checkpoint, only Fessy and Mariah made it to the third checkpoint. They had to basically each tire had a country on it or a city, and then basically you have to set the tires up from
North to south.
northern to south, where city is, and then yeah, well they had to climb up a wall, then build a tower.
Yeah, from the northernmost to the southern. And Fessy knew some of them because he was like places where girls he had talked to had lived or somebody in his DMs. I can't remember what it was. So he
He was
remembered that.
from Australia.
Yeah. He said he had slid into somebody's DMs. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And
he knew about Iceland because they filmed Double Agents there, so he knew that was the top one. So yeah, this was a surprising performance from Fessy. Even though I don't think I don't know, I didn't like this challenge overall was good. I didn't really care for the winners. Mariah, yes. Fessy, no.
okay, well, I didn't care. I'm not the biggest Fessy fan at all, but
He performed. He did good.
yeah,
He
he
surprised
performed.
me.
This challenge was fair. I think the challenge was fair. Everybody had an
I'm not saying it's not
opportunity.
fair. I'm just saying I wouldn't have preferred Fessy, but
Okay,
also
well,
would
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying everybody had the opportunity to do it. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
like like something was at a
It
total
was equal.
disadvantage to other. It was everybody was. I was okay with this challenge. I mean, I would prefer somebody else had one, but I think it
I
was
prefer Nelson. I prefer Festi and Mariah over Nelson and Reese because I knew those. That just
really. I
that would have
don't know
been.
'cause I mean, but I'm this okay. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now,
Ride or
Ryder Die is
dies
no
are
more,
no more.
no more,
And
and he's teaming up the team.
I told y'all
Yeah,
from the jump that they was gonna pit the ride or dies against each other. So
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's still gonna be a team effort because
But I feel like the way the ride or dies are set up now is all vets anyway. And then it would have been like so it's basically just a regular season anyway. Minus
but they're
like
gonna be in
Chauncey and Amber
like
at
War
this
of the
point.
Worlds type of teams. Like they are two big teams. Is that how it's working? You know?
Yeah, I think it's two big teams and they'll dwindle it down. Because I think
Yeah,
off the trailer they still have the deliberation and Johnny was in there, so I'm thinking it's still kind of like the team will
yeah,
interrogate together type of thing, like the
like a
tribunal.
tribunal of who going in.
Um, but yeah, like I was saying, this was just this essentially just comes back to a regular season minus Chauncey and Amber being a couple.
Yeah, yeah, um,
Because
yeah.
all these
So
ride or dies are not essentially ride or dies anyway. So the ones that's left now.
yeah. Well, no, some of them are ride or dies.
Who besides
I
Kenny and
think
Casey
Kenny and Casey, Amber
and
and
Chauncey,
Chauncey. I
and
do
that's it.
believe that Johnny and
They
Nani
just
are.
vets at this point. They challenge vets, so their ride or
But
dies
they, I
are.
mean, I think they ride or die. They've done it enough to get.
I'm not
They've
saying
done
like ride or
challenge
dies.
enough.
I'm saying in general the way the teams are set up, either way it goes, it's just a regular season of challenge. It's just
Yeah,
rookies, and then you just got a couple of people that's dating and related.
yeah.
So it
They're
all
not
boils
dating.
down
They're
to like the
related.
rider. I just feel like the ride or dies don't really matter anymore because it's essentially just a regular season of challenge vets essentially playing against each other.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to see some of these vets. I don't know if they're gonna make it, but we'll
Well, we
see.
know who not making it. We know two people, two females already that
Do
won't.
we? I mean, tell me later. Well, tell me at the
I
end.
mean,
I'm gonna say I don't know.
Anissa and Nani.
Oh, I'm like, do we? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, I was gonna get on the teams and once we get to the
Yeah,
what's it called?
deliberation. So essentially, TJ lets them know they have to decide. It's going to be captain style. They have to
Like
deliberate and come together and figure out how they want to do it, and let them know that no ride or die will be on the same team essentially.
yeah.
So
So the way it's gonna work is that when one person picks a team, the other person's automatically is gonna get that person's ride or die. So if you pick Johnny, you're gonna get not the other person gets Nani, and vice versa. And so if, we get a scene after the challenge where Fessy is telling Nelson, he wants a really, really strong team, which I automatically knew he would like think about more like
I
Braun.
knew Fessy team once Fessy got in power. I knew he was gonna pick.
Yeah, so he
Like I
well,
said, this literally the whole team picking ended up exactly how it would
well,
have.
some stuff was a little different. I mean, no, it was what I thought it would be, and I'm okay with it.
I was gonna say then. Yeah, he basically was like he don't trust Mariah, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, he's like he feel like she gonna try to you know do something different now. You mean play her own game now? You
Yeah.
mean that's what you mean?
He was like essentially, I talked her through this game and I don't want her to have a team. Basically, he was like, I don't want her to win. Essentially, I need to have basically
Yeah,
once TJ was like ride or die like Fessy was like, peace. I don't even know you, girl.
yeah. And exactly. I was just like, what are you talking about? And I'm saying she's on this show because she is connected to him, yes. But once you bring your ride or die in, I do not like once they bring somebody in and they just want to hold it over like you on this show because of me. They only know
Yeah.
you because of me. Okay, well, I'm here now and I'm playing.
We get into the meat and potatoes of the episode where Jordan and Maurice are canoodling.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then we get another scene of them basically flirting in front of Tori.
Yeah.
And Tori decided to remove herself from that situation, which is, big on Tori. We stand growth and we stand, keeping your peace. And then the next day, essentially, Tori and Jordan decided to have a conversation. And Tori was like, "You was telling me one thing, but your actions are saying something different."
Mhm.
And she was basically like, even if we weren't together, I don't want to see that. And for you to do that in front of me is just kind of disrespectful. And Jordan was just kind of, but I'm not gonna. Jordan had this whole, I'm not gonna stop just because you're here type of mentality. And
It seemed,
yeah,
yeah, it seemed like I don't know from what we can see, from what they have shown us, and from what I'm just like making assumptions about. We see him get in her bed. They talking, they doing whatever they doing. Um, so maybe he, we kissing and stuff. So
yeah,
she figured maybe it's like she said, it's a chance. And so, but then tomorrow I see you with someone else, and so I can imagine that might send mixed signals.
yeah,
And with him, maybe it was just like we're comfortable with each other, so this just is not as serious maybe from what he's seeing. But I would think you would be more careful of feelings
the
of someone
person
you're with.
feelings. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just seemed, like I said, it just seemed like Jordan really. I'm not gonna say he didn't care because I'm pretty sure he did care, but just from what they showed us, he kind of just kept making a point of saying that he wasn't gonna stop the connection just because Tori was there.
And so Tori just comes, they just ended kind of with Tori saying they just gonna be, it's just business,
Yeah,
no more of whatever they've been doing. And they just gonna keep it on the game and that's it. And that's it, that's all. But Mariah has a conversation with Johnny and they're just talking. And she said she wants Johnny to be on her team because remember her and Fessy still haven't picked teams. And she wants Johnny to be on her team. So he said, you might need to pick me first because she said, I'm gonna tell Fessy I want you on my team. And she's like, he's basically saying, telling her, Fessy, you gonna have to watch out. It's you and him are not gonna be on the team anymore. He is not gonna, uh, you know, play by whatever rules you're talking about. And so she's like, Fessy wouldn't do me wrong. And Johnny's like, girl, you don't know challenge Fessy. And the deliberation between Fessy and Mariah as they're trying to like discuss how they want to break up these teams. And so his first pick is he wants Casey.
yeah,
Okay. You take Casey, I take Kenny. And so she wants Jordan. So I'll take Jordan. And then so now you got Anissa. And so yeah, Jordan and Anissa, because you have to take the other person's partner. And so he's like, well, if you're taking um Jordan, then I'm gonna take Johnny. He's like, I'm taking this person, this person, this person. It was like three
he's
people.
like,
He
I'm gonna
got
take Devin. He's like, either I'm gonna get Jordan, Devin, or no, he's like either Devin, Bananas, or Nelson. And then she was like, I want Bananas. Then he was like, you can't have Jordan. Like
yeah,
what?
like why wouldn't I be able, yeah, why couldn't I have Jordan if I
You
want
gave three
bananas?
options. Like you still have two of your three. Like
Yeah, he's like, it's either yeah, that didn't make sense. He was really out here in that deliberation gaslighting her. He was like, I want banana. She want bananas. Well, you can't have Jordan if you take banana. What? What are you talking about? Why?
really gaslighting her to make a
He did.
decision
He
to
really gaslighted her. He was like, she really thought she was gonna get Jordan and then be able to get these people too.
be. So that's what I was like, because Johnny basically said that Fessy was gonna do that, and Mariah's like, no, I trust him, and like, her confessional book was okay. I was like, she got the girls out, but she's like, I trust Fessy, and everybody, likes to say that he's messy, but I don't think he would do that to me. I was like, poor baby, your head is in the clouds.
Not your head is in the cloud. No, Fessy goes first and he
And she
picks Casey. And
Mhm.
so Mariah gets Kenny. And then Mariah goes next and she gets
Jordan,
Jordan. And so he gets Anissa. And then right after that, he
he's
makes
like,
he goes to get Johnny. And so she
she
gets
got Nani,
Nani. And
poor
so
child.
And then his
He
next, I think,
chooses
who's next?
Amber. He chooses Amber. He
Amber.
gets Chauncey. He chooses Nelson. She gets Nerese, which is actually smart on her part because Nerese
Yeah.
is, now that she's not tied to Nelson, she's not afraid to make big moves. So Mariah, see, and then that's with the thing. So Horacio was like, Fessy team looks stacked, but he got all alpha people on his team. And he's like, they got too many leaders on their team. And I think that's gonna be Fessy's downfall, honestly.
I think that, yeah, I was looking at it. Fessy's team. Okay, so let's just name it on the, okay. So Fessy has Johnny.
Well, I was about to say, and then she chooses Horacio, and then Fessy chooses Tori, so she got Devin. So in the end, Fessy has Casey, Anissa, Bananas, Chauncey, Nelson, Olivia, Tori.
The people that what's the name, Mariah got, I just think
Well balanced and well versed.
it's just more well balanced to me, frankly.
Yeah,
Because
because she
he
has.
has,
I mean, Kenny.
but I
Let's
mean,
be
but
honest, he's
I mean,
not going to do nothing.
I okay. We ain't really
She
been.
got Jordan. Jordan can't do no wrong.
We got Jordan. We got Nerese. They got Devin, who has been
They
out here
got
being a triple
Amber.
threat or double threat this season. Amber, Mariah herself is the entire episode. I'm looking forward to next week to see what's gonna happen. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below, and we will see you on our next video. Peace.
Recording.